Hate is a virus!
Hate is a virus!
Love is the vaccination!
Love is the vaccination!
Hate is a virus!
Hate is a virus!
Love is the vaccination!
Love is the vaccination!
Stop Asian hate!
Stop Asian hate!
We want to reach out to the entire nation because we're having too much violence, robberies to elderlies, to women, to children, and families are in fear of even walking out the streets now, and we just don't feel safe anymore. And with this defunding of the police and the homeless and the drug situation here is impossible to deal with.
I wish we didn't have to be here for this purpose. So many of us have seen the violent attacks against our Asian seniors, and we are heartbroken.
For generations, there has been this stereotyping of Asians, of blacks, of Hispanics, of people around the world. And this stereotyping was applied in Vietnam, where troops had numerous racial slurs used for the Vietnamese. At the same time then, and it is now, 53 years later.
Anyone who has within their heart the ability to be so brutal and violent with our elders is someone that I would say is not a human being. That is just brutality, and we cannot and will not tolerate it.
You know, when I ran for mayor, and I went out into parts of the Asian American community, I connected with so many of our Asian seniors because they knew I was raised by my grandmother. And they knew that my grandmother had passed away. And so many of them said to me, I will be your grandmother. I know your grandmother isn't here, but I will be your grandmother.
I believe that we must spread love, show compassion, solidarity, because violence is not the answer. It would only create more hatred, which fuels the fire for more hatred. And we're much better than that. We are much better than that. We need to embrace all colors of life in order to correct the issues that we're faced with.
I reflect over the 400 years of the black community enduring the race lighting. I must say it's extremely disheartening to now witness that this is happening to our Asian brothers and sisters. Why should we have to continually deal with this systemic racism? I don't know how many of you know about the Officers for Justice, but this is my brother. Yes, he's Asian, but he is my brother.
When it comes to taking care of the grandmothers and the grandfathers in our Asian American community, they are my grandparents too. And we will not tolerate attacks against them. Attacks against them are attacks against all of us.
I ask you, my Asian brothers and sisters, to not remain silent any longer. You must speak out whenever you see injustice. You must speak out whenever you see racism. You must speak out whenever you see sexism. You must speak out whenever there's any type of ism. Because it's not going to be tolerated in this city. It's not going to be tolerated in this state. We're here today witnessing history in the making. We have a vice president that is black and Asian. That is something prophetic. It's prophetic. It didn't happen by accident. It was meant to be that way. We must stop the media from putting us in separate entities with one another. We must be united. We must serve as a united community on a united front. And we must attack hate crimes when we see them. No matter whose community is involved, we must speak out.
This week, we launched a new program. Some of you heard about the Street Violence Intervention Program that started because of gun violence in various communities in our city. We have expanded that program, and people who grew up in many communities, many of the African American communities of this city, they will be patrolling Chinatown, Clement Street, and other places to keep our communities safe. It is so important that we do everything we can to lift up our communities. Some of you may have seen this message going around on social media that said, "I love you. I know you don't know me, but if people can hate for no reason, then I can love for no reason too." Just imagine how much better our world would be if we looked at one another like brothers and sisters, if we put love out into the world. We in San Francisco are implementing the programs that we know are going to help to keep our seniors safe, but it's going to take all of us coming together to stop this senseless violence. Not one more. So I want to thank you all for coming out. I want to thank you all for continuing to be advocates. I want to thank some of you for taking your personal time to patrol the streets, to look out for our seniors, to help them run errands like Self Help for the Elderly, and Annie Chung and their folks are doing an amazing job with that. So thank you all so much for being here today. Let's stop the violence, let's stop the attacks on our Asian American community, and let's have peace and unity here in San Francisco. Thank you all so much.
We are here to say no more violence!
Stop Asian hate! Stop Asian hate!
No more hate crimes!
No more hate crimes!
Sunday, KC! Stop Asian hate!
Stop Asian hate!
Hate is a virus!
Hate is a virus!
Love is the vaccination!
Love is the vaccination!
San Francisco, let the world hear us. Thank you.